Alright, so I know this is not an IEM, but I still wanted to do a review on this. This is the Cleer Audio NEXT. This is a dynamic driver over-ear headphone. It retails for around $700. And let's get into this. So, I do not have the original box for this. I picked these up used, but I do have the stock cable, and I have the leather bag that is included, and I have the manual as well. I'm sorry if everything is super close together. This, is a IEM review channel for the most part, so there's not much space to show something so much bigger, but well, I'll try my best here. So let's first talk about build. This is a over-engineered headphone in the best way possible. The best aspect of this headphone has to be the build. And that's not to say the rest is not good. The rest is good too. We'll talk about that. But this is so well built. This is better built. This is probably the best built headphone I've ever seen. And I mean, I'm talking about like even over the HD800, over everything. This is like insanely well machined. Like this just goes based on like just the tight tolerances. Just hold it together, and then when you shake it, it just like barely even moves. Yeah, it's just nice and smooth when it adjusts, and it's just amazing. This is all sheepskin, I believe. Oh, I know it's real leather, but I don't know if it's sheepskin or something. But yeah, a design, in my opinion, looks pretty good. I'm trying to angle it in a way where you can see the whole thing on the camera here. And yeah, so I think that these look excellent. Very great looking headphones, and also very well built. Everything is either metal or leather. There's no plastic on this whole entire thing. So, actually, let me talk about accessories after. Out of order, but let's talk about accessories. You do get this full leather bag. I don't really get this. I mean, like it opens up and they're expecting you to kind of like put this headphone in the bag and like put your cables in this part of the bag, I think, or something. I don't really know. Oh yeah. This part, yeah, it's a zipper. Put your cables in here, close that up, close it like that. I don't like this at all. I think that it's just they're overly trying to sell you on the leather because this is real leather. This is a real leather bag. I think that this is just a little bit ridiculous. I think that a case would have been a lot nicer or something. But hey, it's included for free, so can't complain. Cable. Oh god. Let's talk about the cable. Let me move this to the side here. This connector is stupid. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Also, it will come with a 4.4 adapter. I think you know what that looks like, though. I don't know where it is. This is a stupid connector. This is stupid thick, and it's 3.5, not gold plated, which I'm not a fan of because I'm not. This is it's an okay cable. It does stay very straight, which is the nice thing. It's not a very janky cable, but it's a little bit thick. Just overall, it's fine. Yeah, it's good. There's nothing wrong with the cable, but I don't like these connectors. This is ridiculously industrialized looking, but looks it's overkill. It's overkill. Give me something convenient. And then limo connectors. So these are limo connectors. This is a connector that probably won't really work on any other headphone other than the Cleer NEXT, and that's just awful because unless you order a custom made cable, you will not be able to use these balanced or use any other cable other than this one. I ordered from Heart Audio this cable here, which they did a very nice job on. It's exactly these limo connectors to 4.4, so I could use them balanced. And it cost me a lot of money. I think it was like $120, $130. And it's not because of Heart Audio overcharging at all. It's that these connectors are extremely expensive for them to even procure. Limo connectors are just known for just being expensive connectors that are... I like the connector. I think it's a good connector. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's an overpriced connector for headphones that are in the luxury category. So it's just an overpriced connector. I think the Utopia uses limo connectors as well. So, yeah. Let's get this cable out of the way. You also get this booklet. Yeah, I don't really get why companies do this. They're like selling you a headphone that you already bought. It's like you already purchased this, so why you gotta advertise it to me again? But I mean, yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, it's there. Okay, let's get into the rest of the important parts of the headphone. Comfort. These are very comfortable. I can wear this probably for a very long period of time. I will say that they have a little bit of weight to them. It's not like very, very heavy or anything like that, but they have some weight due to the amount of metal used. And the clamp force is pretty strong. I don't know a good reference for this, but it's not too hard or anything, and I do like it because you have very, very thick pads. Like let me try to get like a this is kind of the shape. It's actually in the shape of almost like an ear, which is good. I like that. It's got this weird hexagon kind of like a shape. It's a nice pad. They're really nice pads, and they're very lush and very soft, comfortable. I think that's memory foam. And because it's clamps a little bit tight, not too tight, but you know, it'll condense on your head very nicely. I think it's a very comfortable set of headphones, and that's not an issue at all on these. Something I don't like is that these pads are not replaceable, and that doesn't really matter because even if they were, they don't sell them anyway. So that sucks, but I mean, that's what can you do? At least they are real leather, so they will probably last an extremely long time. Because this is not really gonna get damaged over time, depending on how you treat it, I guess. But they are very durable, much more durable than like a protein leather would be or something like that. Okay, let's talk about now sound. The main reason you're probably watching this video. The sound on these things is really interesting. It's a novel sound. I don't think that this is something that you're getting if it's your first high-end headphone. At least I don't think it should be. This is something that's great in a collection. For me, I've had these for a while. And I'm gonna sell them personally because I don't use them because it's like, oh, like, you know how you get something kind of interesting but you get bored of it, but like it was really cool the first like few times. This is like that. Like it's a really interesting sound that is really unique to this set, but I wouldn't call it like something I would use all the time. Now, you may be like, okay, come on, just tell me about like the actual sound signature. Stop telling me this. It comes into play. So detail-wise, I think that, and like this sound-wise overall, I don't think these are worth $700. I think these are more of a $500-ish sound. I'm going to be comparing throughout the review the sound to an HD650 that I've had for really way too long. So just not because they're similar in sound or anything like that, but because I think a lot of people have a 650 or have at least heard a 650, so it's something that you can reference, I guess. It's the closest thing I can do to referencing sound like I do with IAMs and stuff like that. So first, let's talk about bass, mids, highs. The bass on these is good. I like it. It's got texture, it's got detail. It's a little bit underwhelming in some circumstances, but it's good. It's got dynamics, it's got punch, and it's not overwhelming ever. I never heard it overwhelming. It feels like sometimes it's a little underwhelming. Sometimes it's just not enough impact, but most of the time you got good bass. You got very clean bass. I'd say that, 650 is very dependent on how well you power it. I'm using it on my DX300, and I think it runs it pretty well. And I think the bass on the 650 was a lot thicker, warmer, lusher. This is a little bit more analytical sounding bass. This is a little bit on the brighter side, but not really bright. Just in the middle, maybe a little bit bright. So it doesn't have the warmth of the 650 in the bass department, and it's not as full, but it's more detailed bass. Now, moving on to the mid range, I think that male vocals and stuff in the lower mid range is not nearly as good as the upper mid range on this. I think that the upper mid range is really well done on this. It's got great extension into female vocals. Not sibilant really almost ever, but the male vocals can sound a little bit thin here and there. But female vocals, excellent. I think that the vocals on the 650 are probably better because this is really what the 650 does the best to me, is the intimacy in the vocals. But I think that female vocals are done maybe a bit better on this, but male vocals are done better on this. But the amount that male vocals are done better on this is way more than the amount this does better in the female vocals. If you could follow that. Let me rephrase that because that might have been a little bit poorly phrased. This is marginal, like a little bit better in female vocals than this is. but this is quite a bit better in male vocals than this is. I hope that kind of was better phrased. I don't know why I had so much trouble expressing that. Anyway, let me just move it like this. Maybe it looks better. Nope. Okay. So comfort-wise, though, if we're comparing these, I think these are a lot lighter, and I think that these are very comfortable. But that might be because I've just had them for so long, I'm used to it. I don't know. So I don't want to reference the comfort in comparison because I've worn these for like 8 years. So I'm used to the comfort on these. So I think that you won't have comfort problems with these. Talking about now highs. The treble is better on these than these. You're going to get better treble extension. It'll be a little bit off sounding, which is I'm going to talk about timbre in a second. But I think that the treble is more detailed, more clear on these. Soundstage is a lot better on this. I mean, the 650 is known for having a close sound, like a very intimate sound. So I'm gonna move this just so I can, I'll put it back later, but just so I can get the, like, you know, the hand thing. You're getting pretty wide stage on this. You're getting like this. I mean, it's pretty big. It's got great staging. That's one of the things that this does very well. Great staging and great imaging. You're gonna get fantastic imaging. It's better imaging than the 650, and the 650, in my opinion, has pretty good imaging. But this, you're getting very good pinpoint accuracy. You got, it puts the vocals in the right place. Just very great imaging on here. So I think that the imaging on this is worth like $700 level imaging and soundstage. I think that the details is still, like I said, $500 around that for detail. For tuning, and timbre, I'm gonna talk about in a second. So I'm gonna put the 650 away for a second, talk about timbre. So timbre is something like a very interesting thing to explain. So the best way I can explain the timbre of these, because the reason I want to talk about this very unique timbre, is that the mid-range and highs on these sounds almost planar-like in timbre, while the bass sounds dynamic. The bass has texture, it has great texture and great detail in the bass, which I didn't find too much when I've used the planar headphones that I've used at the time. I guess I can try to compare it with the Ananda, because that's the closest in price when it comes to planars that I've heard. Comparing this to Ananda, this is by memory, so keep in mind the bass on these is a lot more dynamic sounding. But at the same time, this has a metallic-ish timbre that you find on some planars, plus some planar headphones, in the mids and the highs. So it's very strange, almost sounds as if that this was a hybrid thing, kind of like, you know, IEMs do a lot, where they, you know, mix drivers and stuff like that. This almost sounds like you mixed a dynamic driver with a planar driver, doing the dynamic with the bass and the rest doing with the planar. It's not a bad thing necessarily if you don't have problems with that slight artificial sound that some things can get you. It kind of does sound a little bit metallic, but I think that it's nothing like huge, major, big deal. But it is the main reason why I don't use these anymore. I care about timbre a lot. Like when I'm comparing these with the 650 has a lot better timbre, much more natural sounding, smoother. This has a lot more metallic, artificial sound to it. But that makes these great for EDM. I think that these are one of the better headphones in the price for EDM, and maybe around for 600, 700, yeah. In that area, they're great for EDM. I think that you can get a great experience on EDM, pop music too, but I think that the vocals sound a little bit too artificial for my taste. But if you don't have a problem with that timbre, you're gonna love this. If you've like used a lot of headphones that people have said have metallic timbre, but you don't think it's an issue, this is actually a great headphone for the price. Just in terms of just not only the sound, but the build and the comfort and all of that. Drivability, these are much easier to drive than the 650. I found the 650 took a lot more power. Makes sense, 300 ohms. I don't remember the ohms on this, the impedance on this. Sorry, I just didn't think about looking that up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. But pretty much to recap, great in all departments, really, in bass, mids, and highs when it comes to detail. But better detail, I think. I think it's got good detail in the treble and everything. It has great sense of staging and air and great imaging. I think that it's really it has better upper mids than lower mids, doing better with the female vocals than the male vocals. But you still get good with everything, but it can sound a little bit thin in the male vocals, which is a little bit disappointing though. Instruments sounds a little bit artificial to me because of that planar-ish timbre, which it's not planar, but it has a timbre sounding like a planar, which is a little bit strange, but that's what makes these a little bit unique. I think that the bass can be a little bit underwhelming on some tracks, but overall pretty good. I know I said these are good for EDM, and at the same time I see the bass is underwhelming, but it's just they have great sound for synths and that kind of thing. It does have good bass. I'm just saying on very, very few tracks, it's underwhelming. But it happens, but it's rare. I just wanted to get that out. But usually the bass will be very good. It has very detailed, tight bass. It's not like a boomy bass either. It's great quality bass. You're gonna get, otherwise, if you can ignore the metallic timbre, good mid-range, a little bit thin sometimes. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to cover for this set. If you have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments. I hope this helped out. If you want to see more headphone reviews, let me know. Or if you want me to just stick with IEMs all the time, also let me know. I'm probably going to have a couple headphone reviews coming up here and there just to make my wallet not die as hard as it is right now with all the IEMs I have had to buy recently. So I might review some headphones that I currently have in my possession just to get some more reviews out there. And I actually want to do headphone reviews in the future, but if you don't want to see those, let me know in the comments if you think I should just stick with IEMs on this channel. Anyway, I hope this helped out. See ya.